This is Flyover Film Country. Welcome back. What are you drinking tonight, Walker?
I don't have anything. I have Teddy's, the bottle I spray Teddy with when he's bad. So I guess if I get really thirsty, I can drink some of this water that's probably been in here for over a year. So
yeah. If you're listening to this, please send us and you're a cat owner, please send us your deranged fur baby stories, because we were just talking about how Teddy bit Walker in the middle of the night. But it turned out it wasn't actually the middle of the night. It was just like 11:15.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I thought I'd been
for like
asleep.
10 minutes.
It was the middle of the night, and it was not. I'd only been asleep for a couple of minutes. So
yeah.
But it scared me really bad. It got my adrenaline pumping, and I didn't go back to bed for a while after that because I thought someone was attacking me. Like, it hurt so bad.
Yeah. Golly. Yeah, I've never had that happen. It's funny because like I think I I'm in our relationship with the cats, like our three-way relationship with each of them. They sleep with Jess, and I think they ultimately like prefer her over me.
Yeah.
But they know I give better pets because I'm like a little bit more like firm, like especially when I'm like scratching under their chin and stuff.
Yeah.
But so they only sleep with her. Sometimes they sleep between us, but most of the time it's like on her side, and she's like, spooning one of them.
Yeah.
Which is, I've always kind of envied, but whenever they do like what Teddy did, I'm always thankful that, but you can sleep with them. They can prefer you at night. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Teddy before I got married, so he sleeps with me. He did transition for a little bit to sleeping in between Savannah and I, but then she would roll over in the middle of the night and like scare him, and he would hiss, and then she would wake up and get mad, and then I was like, dude. So he would get in the middle, and I would just be like, no, you have to just come onto my side, just come over here.
So you just like scoop him up, and he'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I just had to do it a night or two, and then he stopped getting in the middle after that. So
yeah,
but yeah, he does this funny thing though, where it's like he'll migrate up and down my body like throughout a month. So like usually towards the beginning of the month, he will be sleeping down by my feet. And then as that month goes on, like each night he'll move closer. And then like the last week of the month, he'll be sleeping like curled up right here, like under my chin.
That's so interesting.
And then it's like it'll reset eventually where he'll move back. So like last night, he was sleeping like by my thigh. So that's why he bit me right in my upper thigh.
Because you gotta separate your thighs so they're not like stuck together and like getting sweat between,
Yeah.
I was like I hope that's not like gross, but that's my experience.
I'm a hairy guy that's not probably would be, I guess on BMI would be probably obese because like everyone is. So I have plenty of sweat.
I wouldn't say
to go around.
I wouldn't think that, but I don't know.
Well, I think I'm just saying BMI because BMI is like crazy.
Oh,
like
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like hard not to be obese on BMI.
Yeah. Well, you know who we can thank for that is RFK Jr.
The semen rate of 16-year-olds in this country has fallen by 50%.
Once you leave the back rooms is so low. Dude, the other night when we were at the bonfire with Walter, I was like crying, laughing at like we just all started doing it. The three of us.
There's nothing better than three white dudes around a fire doing RFK impressions. Nothing better than that.
That's nightmare fuel right there. Speaking of nightmare fuel, this is a film podcast hosted by residents of Flyover Country. I love Blank Check with Griffin and David. Sometimes they like get right into the topic of the movie they're discussing, and sometimes they will go for like 30 or 40 minutes before they introduce the podcast.
Yeah.
They like realize that they hadn't done it. So for us, 4 minutes isn't that bad.
4 minutes. Yeah.
But anyway, today we're discussing Backrooms. We're on kind of a little bit of a horror spree. Walter is still out of commish. Say prayers for our boy Walter.
Yeah.
He's
living in his own horror movie.
Yeah, he's in his own backrooms, you could say.
Yeah.
He's turning into some being that has like 7 eyes. Oh, he's not going to understand that reference.
No. Not for a while, at least.
And then Olivia is also out of commish, grieving the loss of the Warriors. Let's check in real quick on the playoffs, because as we're recording this, the Knicks are playing the Spurs, and they are, when we started, it was 17-27, and now it is 26-29.
Yeah.
Spurs up only by 3. So that's pretty dope. I think I'm definitely pulling for the Knicks, but you have any thoughts you want to share about the playoffs so far?
I'll call my shot.
Sorry, we're in the finals now.
Yeah, the finals. So it's the Knicks' first time in the finals since 1999 when they lost to the Spurs, which is super fun. I'm saying it's Knicks in 6, man. I think the Knicks are going to pull it off. I don't think it's going to go to Game 7. I think they're going to wear Wemby down. I mean, they've already, they're playing so physical against him, and so I think they're going to wear him down and pull it out at home in New York, which would be, no matter where they win, it's going to be crazy. But if they win the finals in New York, at home, it is going to be just that much crazier.
Yeah.
And that's really just all we want from this. So
yeah, the city will not be left standing, but, you know what?
Yeah,
that's the American way.
That's how it should be.
Do we know where Olivia stands on Knicks Spurs? Did she say in the group chat earlier that she's Knicks over Spurs?
Yeah, I texted you guys go Knicks, and as the game started, and she also texted go Knicks. I'm sure she doesn't want to cheer on the team that beat the Thunder, so I don't blame. And that's my logic. I don't want good teams in the West, so I do not need the Spurs to start establishing a dynasty.
Yeah.
So
these things, I just see the patterns. When Tim Duncan was at the Spurs and they were dominant, when I was in 4th or 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
And now time is a flat circle. We're back to the Spurs being dominant. But anyway, it would be pretty cool if the Knicks won. So.
Yeah. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we all want. That's what any sane person, if you don't live in San Antonio and you're not rooting for the Knicks, what are you doing?
When was the last time that the Knicks won the finals?
Oh,
I don't even know. 99, or that was the last time they played the Spurs.
No, they lost in 99. Their last championship was in 1973.
Okay, so this is 50 years ish.
Yeah, and before that, so they went to the finals in 99. I don't think they had won a playoff series until 3 years ago. So they went from being in the finals to not winning a playoff series until 3 years ago when Jalen Brunson joined their team, and now they're back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how much of it is Timothée Chalamet's karma, just extremely positive, strong aura right now from the young man.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought he lost all his karma when he started dating who does he date?
Kylie. Yeah.
Kylie, yeah. I thought maybe he lost it all then, but maybe not. Maybe he passed it on to the Knicks before that.
Yeah. Who knows? Well, this episode we're talking about Backrooms. Kane Parsons directed movie that's been 4 years in the making.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of our experience seeing it together. We missed the first 3 minutes of the movie, which was kind of funny in hindsight.
Yeah.
But we'll catch it at some point. But what did you think about our viewing experience? It was a packed house.
Super packed.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people sitting in the wrong seats. I don't know if you noticed that when there was a problem on our row. So yeah, we somehow we got to the movie in the theater 15 minutes after it was supposed to start. So that's usually plenty of time. Yeah. And then it's but the movie had already started. So I was shocked that we had missed a little because we weren't there that late. But there were people sitting in the wrong seats on our row that caused this whole confusion with us and the people sitting beside us. And we finally figured that out. And then probably 20 minutes into the movie,
they were cool. Like they're like, okay, yeah, we know we're not in the right seats.
Right.
So, but then there were other people on the row in front of us who were like, y'all are in our seats.
Yeah.
So,
but the people that came in and got them out of their seats, it was not, 5 minutes or 10 minutes into the movie. It's 20 to 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And then these people walk in and are like, hey, like, you're in our seats. I think they got a worker, and the worker comes, and then I see him go behind me. So I guess the people were like, "Oh, well, there were people in our seats up there." And
I bet like we'll talk about this a little bit, but you're kind of in this demographic, like because you started following Cam Parsons when he started doing Backrooms like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
but there are way more young people in there, and thankfully we didn't have a group that was on their phones or texting and being kind of disruptive. But because I've heard that has been the case for a lot of people when they go see this movie, kind of like a light Minecraft experience,
right?
Because apparently Minecraft was crazy, but I feel like the young people were probably thinking, well, it's going to be like 30 or 40 minutes of previews and all that bullcrap, so like, we'll just show up late. And I feel like maybe that's what it was, because we stood in line to get popcorn and drinks for a while, I would say.
Yeah.
It would took like 10 minutes to get through that line.
Yeah. I don't know. But thankfully there were definitely a lot of young people in there, but thankfully, it wasn't disruptive. One of my favorite parts of watching this movie was we saw it together, and then you had a friend come along and I had a friend come along too. So there were 4 of us.
Yep.
And I love watching scary movies with other people. I mean, obviously it's always more fun, but I'm pretty sure you got jump scared pretty hard in the first part.
Yeah. Was that like the like, you mean the very first part when we sat down?
Yes. Yeah. Like that guy, he's in the room with the cloud trying to open the door, and then he runs back into the hallway, and there's kind of a jump scare right there.
Yep. Yeah,
and I think you even let out a little bit of a scream.
Yeah, I was like,
yell.
Or I mean, is that what I did? Was it?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was you because I was at the end of the row and you were in the middle, but I thought it sounded like you.
So my buddy Ryan came, and he's been kind of following Backrooms for a little bit. Actually, no, I think he read up on the lore that day.
I think he said he was listening to lore on the way there.
Yeah. And then your buddy Conrad, right?
Carson.
Carson? Conrad?
Yeah, Carson.
Same thing. I just want to point out that I have a little bit of Backrooms energy going on.
Yeah,
right
you
here.
do. You really do.
I have, like, some doors. Did you ever watch the rehearsal? Where Nathan...
Oh, yeah.
In the very first episode, Nathan Fielder's like, wow, you got Door City right here, because there's like 5 doors. That's like, got a closet door to the playroom, door downstairs. So that's what I like saying. Got Door City right here. So anyway, yeah, I thought people were pretty respectful, and thought it was a good movie. We'll get into like some of the more technical stuff and dissect it as a movie, because it's like it's a cultural moment, I would say, and then also like a pretty pivotal moment for movies in general. But yeah, it was a good viewing experience. Do you want to talk about these like records that
for sure.
We'll hit Obsession first, because that was our last episode. That was the last like big horror movie that came out just a couple weekends ago. But so Obsession made $27.5 million domestic this past weekend, as we're recording this on June 3rd of 2026, and it went up again on its 3rd weekend of release, which hasn't been
so crazy,
which hasn't happened since E.T. in 1982, and that was 44 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about. But it's crazy thinking about how what if every producer had some sort of like obsession role where how can we make this movie like undeniable from a word of mouth perspective? Because Backrooms kind of has that too, but like not as strong, I would say.
Right.
There's like the fan base baked in, but Obsession has that in a pretty undeniable way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really is interesting to see, like, with Obsession, how that is so that word of mouth, and like I think too we're really seeing now like how effective, you know, people making TikToks about your movie. Like if you make your movie in a way where people want to talk about it and they talk about it on TikTok and on Reels and stuff, like it seems like it's having a real effect at the box office. Like we're seeing it in real time with Obsession.
Yeah.
And I think it's super cool because it, you know, Curry is obviously successful and has an audience, but not an audience like this, you know, and so I think it's really cool. And we were talking about it after we saw Backrooms because, you know, Backrooms obviously has quite a more significant budget than Obsession, but both of them, you know, I mean, Obsession's really low, like less than $1 million. I think Backrooms is like 10 million. And it's like, maybe I'm hoping we're seeing kind of a resurgence of more mid-budget movies coming back and like people getting chances with those, because I think for so long studios have been chasing like making $1 billion, like a movie making $1 billion rather than just like making a really good return on investment on a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we're seeing right now in real time 2 movies that didn't cost a ton of money to make that are making really, really good returns on the investments that the studios have put into them. So,
yep. I think like the bloat and the kind of the baggage that comes with star power is starting to like disintegrate a little bit.
Yeah.
For producers and for major studios. And I mean, and what's crazy is like A24 has been succeeding at this for like years now.
Yeah.
Like they've been profitable on like almost all their movies. Actually, that may not be true. I have no idea. but they have that reputation of like, you know,
they have a lot of successes.
We're doing something weird and kind of like, you know, specific and it'll be memorable even if you don't like it. That's kind of like their whole thing, which is and it's unique because you said Focus got Obsession, right? And distributed
I'm pretty
that.
sure.
Yeah, and then A24 had Backrooms. So yeah, it's a really, really cool moment. It could get up to 300 million. Obsession could, which would be insane on a less than $1 million budget. And it's just crazy that like that it worked that much. It was cool listening to Curry Barker talk about how like he was like, my life was changing before my eyes whenever we screened it at I think it was Southwest when it screened. Yeah, because Luke Irvin said that he saw it there, and he loved it. And he woke up and he had all these missed calls from his manager, and they were like, we have a bidding war between like Neon, A24, and Focus. Yeah. And he was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, it was like my life was changing before my eyes. Yeah. So it's like pretty crazy. So this is wrong in the dossier. It says that Backrooms was made for $750,000. That is not true. That's what Obsession was made for. I think wasn't the budget for Backrooms like 20 million?
I thought it was 10.
Was it 10? Yeah.
I mean, the marketing budget might have made it.
It made back its budget on the Thursday night screenings.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then Backrooms in its first weekend, this previous weekend, made 81.4 million domestic over 3 days, which is the highest grossing weekend in A24 history. Before that, it was Civil War, and it like tripled Civil Wars. And then Everything Everywhere All at Once. It made back Everything Everywhere All at Once's grand total in 3 days, which is insane. So it's like wild. Yeah, truly wild. But anyway, so yeah, that's like we're kind of in this really cool moment, and yeah, we're in the back rooms.
Yeah, we're in the back rooms, and also Scary Movie is coming out on Friday. Like,
okay, are you into those? I've never seen
never seen a single one of them. Yeah,
the trailers are pretty funny. Those like kind of making fun of all the horror things. They've been doing some promos of for Backrooms. I don't know if they've done one for Obsession. That I've seen.
They must have it. Yeah, I saw the Backrooms ones. I wonder if they probably already had those made, I guess, before it was super successful.
Yeah.
So maybe they did do Obsession, but they probably will at some point.
For real. Do you want to talk about like the Backrooms? I hope people listening to this don't immediately tune out. Yeah. But I'm interested in the lore.
Yeah.
Of Backrooms, and I know you know a lot about it since you've been following and watching a lot of Kane Pixels, or that's his YouTube name, Kane Parsons, channel since he started making them. But you're in that kind of Gen X, Gen Z. Oh, jeez, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Gen X. I
did not do that on our last episode.
I think you did.
I kept saying Gen X, Gen Z demographic. Our resident young folk.
Yeah.
So, what was your thought? Like, did you ever think that it would work this well as a movie?
To be honest, no. Because I mean, when you think about it, it's one of the craziest things that this is a movie. To be honest, because the Backrooms and the idea of it started as a picture that was posted on 4chan. Like, that is what this all came. One 4chan post with this picture of like a room and this story, and it like is just insane. The amount of content that has been created all based off this one picture now, which is where like and it its DNA is still in it. Like the yellow wallpaper and all that all originates from this one picture that was, like I said, on 4chan.
Right here. This one, right?
Yeah. And so it's really crazy to think that this is now a movie that's made like over $100 million.
Yeah.
And it's not like when Kane started making the stuff on YouTube too, it's not like that was, the beginning of the Backrooms. That's years after people have been making content about it and based off it. And there were games already, and there's just so much stuff. And so it's really crazy, honestly, to have been, because I love like analog horror stuff on YouTube. When I was a kid, I didn't have good enough internet to watch YouTube videos when I was a kid. So the only way I consumed it, and my parents didn't let me watch scary movies, the only way I consumed anything scary was reading creepypastas. And I've read, like when I was in middle school and like in high school, I read so many creepypastas that it's ridiculous how many of those I've read, and like they're just all locked away up here.
Yep.
And so it's really cool to see someone be successful at translating some of this internet horror stuff to the big screen, because they've tried in a couple other times, like with Slender Man and stuff, and it's never really worked that well.
Yeah, where they take like a big budget approach and it just like falls flat completely, because it's not replicating like any sort of experience of actually like playing. Like I played Slender Man. I never watched or I never read creepypasta.
Yeah.
But I was fascinated by Slender Man and was like really, really scared by it too.
Yeah.
But the experience of playing Slender Man apparently is not what is translated into that movie.
Yeah.
So
well, and I think that's the big difference probably too between the approach in the past and then this movie is that, letting Kane direct this movie was I think a really risky choice. And I think we can talk about it. There are some moments where you see like, yeah, it's obvious this guy's never really directed, besides his own YouTube videos, which are done in Blender and like kind of this totally different way of filmmaking. Like he's not, he's got some stuff to learn about directing, but it was a big risk, but it paid off so well because he knows like the Backrooms and he understands it and like understands the people that experienced it the same way he did on the internet. And I think in the past, yeah, they threw a lot of money at it, probably brought in a director that, like, you know, didn't really know anything about Slender Man, maybe had played like one of the games or something.
Right.
But I think that is probably the most important thing that I hope that studios learn from this, is like getting the people that have been involved since the beginning is the way to make this work.
Yep. Because and that's where it kind of that's like that's where the translation of it all is so important, because
Yeah.
and where like it's not a 1-to-1.
Mhm.
And that's what's cool about like Zach Kreger is kind of in this mode too, where he's like,
Yeah.
he's not Gen Z, but he's from a different mold.
Yeah.
And that's why he can do something like Weapons and Barbarian and Resident Evil, because
Yeah.
he's like pulling inspiration from different things. It was really cool hearing how, like, in the interview with Kane Parsons, that Sean Fennessy did on The Big Picture, which I'd encourage, I don't know if you've listened to it yet, encourage anyone who's interested in Backrooms to go listen to that conversation, an interview with Kane, because he goes, you know, like, I really like movies, but my reference point was like he's not directing as someone who grew up loving movies.
Yeah.
He's directing a story from an entirely different framework of like the things that like kind of scare him and interest him.
Yeah.
In terms of like these liminal spaces.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of why I had such a positive experience viewing the movie, even though it holds together really well.
Yeah.
It's not traditionally, like you said, flawless.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really impressive about it is like you can feel how he is like just pushing the boundary. I don't know how to describe it. I think I like tried to describe it to you when we were talking about it after the movie outside, where like it feels extremely distinct. Like no one has kind of done it the way that he's doing it, and that's probably completely accurate.
Yeah.
Because he's not thinking about things from a filmic standpoint. There's like some formulaic, like, okay, this was probably a producer note that had to be added in.
Yeah.
You know, like general audiences have to have something to hold on to,
Yeah.
per se, but everything else feels like nightmarish and kind of surreal, and yeah, I was like really digging it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you see the way that, you know, he benefits from being, I guess, a YouTube like creator in some ways. And I think like that really shines in the moments where they're specific. I think the found footage segment is probably one of the strongest parts of the movie.
For sure.
And it's like that.
And there's two. There's like one at the very beginning that we kind of missed a little bit, and then one like halfway through the movie, right?
Yeah. And I think the one halfway like has stuck with me so much. I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's really interesting and cool. And that is like, I don't know if another person that was making this movie would have been willing to do that and do a sequence that was that long and like do some of the things they did in that sequence, but because like that's what he's been doing on YouTube, that's the way he's been creating, you know, and using Blender and 3D modeling and all this stuff to his advantage. I think that it made the movie so much cooler because of that. I mean, that scene, like once they get pulled down and they hit by the bed and they fall down the tunnel to the laundry room or whatever, like it's like 2 minutes of straight terror. Like 2 to 3 minutes of just straight terror after that. And it's really, really cool to see. I mean, the room being sideways and the boyfriend being dragged up through the door that's like cracked open. I mean, there's just so much stuff that's so cool that, yeah, I don't know if a traditional Hollywood director would do. And I think this movie's better because of that. And there are moments too where you see, I think specifically the moment for me, I think about where like that weakness is shown for him is kind of the emotional high point of the movie when they're having this conversation across the kitchen table, the two main characters. And it kind of is just, I don't know. It's kind of like flat, but it's also like, I mean, hey, this is the dude's first time directing, like really at all, like actors in a room, like with a camera. I mean, it's hard. It's not easy. So I can't blame him. Like, I'm not saying I would even do any better. Like, but I think, yeah, it's interesting. And I think that he's going to get better. We're going to see more. It's been too successful for them not to do another one. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
And so the movie stars Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renata Reinsve. Anyway, I feel like she's having a moment. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Sentimental Value, and she was in Worst Person in the World, and they're very good together. It's funny because like her. I guess she's Swedish or Norwegian? I can't remember.
I'm not
sure.
Her
accent, like her accent shines through, and it's like a little bit distracting. Not too distracting, but like a little bit like, okay, this doesn't quite translate. I love her. Like I was not mad that like I don't want to see her or Chiwetel Ejiofor's characters again, except for maybe like spoilers. We'll talk about what ends up happening in the movie. I want them to go other directions with future movies. But I love both of them, and I thought they were really good together. So
I think it's one of those times where it's weird to say like someone's accent was not good, but their performance was great. Like
exactly.
I kind of am just like, you should have just let her have whatever accent she has, and it really would not have affected me at all. Like I don't think it would have changed how I felt about the movie at all. But
this is a huge tangent, but you know what big character I feel that way about? Please. I feel that way about Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange. I wish that they had let him be Sherlock or like another version of Sherlock and just like have the British accent and stuff. And I feel like that character would have been like on par with Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Because his American accent is like not that good.
No.
It's like too like polished.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wish he was just Sherlock. So anyway.
It's funny we mentioned that because last night, Savannah and I did a movie night last night, and we decided to watch Get Out. Savannah had not seen it since she saw it at the movies. So she cool. And that movie came out in like 2017 or something. So it'd been a long time, and we watched it, and both of us were like, Daniel's performance in this movie is very good. You can definitely tell he is British multiple times throughout that movie. Yeah. Like, it's just clear as day that he is not American.
Well, that's what I like about his performance in Nope is like it's a lot more like you could tell he had a little bit more time to study or just that character makes it a little bit easier to be because he's like, like a little like country blue collar character who's like not as verbose. And, even the iconic scene where it's just dumping all the blood and like debris on the truck. And he's just like, nope. And he just like gets back in the truck. It's like, it's a lot stronger in Nope. But anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent where we're talking about Renata Reinsve's accent. But yeah, in Kane Parsons said that, going from, I guess like Mark Duplass was the one who initially approached him about doing this, maybe.
I for some reason thought I read it was James Wan.
Oh, okay. No, I think you're right. Because I read that. I read that today. I don't know why. I think I'm just thinking of him, Mark Duplass's character, even though he is a producer on the movie. But yeah, and James Wan didn't know that he was in high school.
Right, he was 16, I think.
And he brought his dad to the meeting, which was cool. But it's really cool. You and I were texting about this, about how like people have been kind of throwing shade at him in saying like, oh, there's no way that he directed this because this looks too good and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But apparently everyone involved is like, no, he like directed this movie.
Yeah.
And the way that he talks about the different avenues that they had to go to, like, no, I want to keep this in. You know, he said it wasn't a fight. It was like a productive kind of working relationship with me and the producers and that kind of thing. But he said that what was cool is like the transition from him doing all the stuff with Backrooms on YouTube to making the movie. He said it felt seamless, and he felt like pretty confident once he got in that space and started like directing the actors and that kind of thing, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
He is a smart dude, like really, really thoughtful. I really liked listening to him just talk about his process and stuff, because he's just like very introspective. So
yeah, all the interviews I've seen with him are really cool. I've even seen people that have been posting stuff like, oh yeah, there's no way he directed this, and then later posting a clip of his interview and being like, oh, I actually like this guy. And I think that's what's so frustrating about, honestly, a lot of the discourse around this movie has been frustrating because, you know, again, like we've referenced, we both think there are flaws in this movie, and it feels like, but those are not the things that people are talking about. We're like coming up with a fake conspiracy that like he didn't direct it. Yeah. We're like, it's just so silly. I mean, it's like I said, did you watch the movie? Like, of course he did. The parts that like he's experienced it doing are so good and are so tight and are so scary. And the parts he's not experienced at aren't as good. Like, he definitely directed it. If there was some Hollywood director that secretly directed it behind the scenes, it would definitely be the opposite way. Like, so it's ridiculous. But there has been, and I would love to hear what you think about this. And so this is going to be a spoiler. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to spoil something. Warning. Yeah. But honestly, if you haven't seen the movie and you're on social media, I don't know how this hasn't been spoiled for you, because it has been all over all my social media. But so the reveal of the monster being Clark in his pirate uniform, how did that land for you? How did that hit for you?
Okay, so I do have some thoughts about this. And I want to like connect it to one other thing that Kane Parsons said in his interview.
Yeah.
He said that cuz he was asked about scares, like traditional horror and jump scares, cuz he said like, you know, there are a couple key moments that are traditional jump scares, and he said I don't approach them from like again, I know I'm being redundant, but I really do appreciate this about him. He was like, I'm not thinking about like, well, I want it to be like the scare from this movie. Yeah. He said it's all kind of my gut. Like what would scare me in that moment. And the thing that I think of is the moment when I forget her character's name. Clark is Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, and the therapist played by Renata Ransva is
real quick.
Thanks. She gets in and she's like, what is this place? Like, he was right, you know, this is creepy. This is creepy. And she turns around and she sees Clark. All you see is Clark like moving back around the corner, and it is like really terrifying. Yeah. And it's one of those moments where like in the wide pan, like or wide lens non-found footage scenes, that is like really, really scary. Yeah. Because it's capturing how this liminal space is just like so unnerving and so unnatural, and like a place where like humans should not be living and thriving, or anything should be living and thriving. Right. And then she's like, is someone there? And then he goes, it's me, or something like that. But then it goes back to him, and he's actually standing like mostly in view. Yeah. And how scary that is, because in this liminal space, like, it's even scarier because Clark is not acting like a human. Right. Like in this like inhuman space, you would expect like a human to at least act normal and act organic, and he's like not acting like he is okay. Yeah. And I don't know. Like, I just like that. Okay, I went on a little bit of a tangent and I forgot what your question was.
It was about Pirate Clark and how that landed.
Pirate Clark. I didn't mind when they got to that point where they're at the table and he's just like kind of complaining, and then she flips out and says like, you only feel sorry for yourself. You're always calling yourself the victim. And then he's like, I don't want to change. And she was like, you don't have to, but you need to let me go. And he like does genuinely say like, you're right. Like I can stay here, but like, I guess I can let you go. And then Pirate Clark comes through. That whole time there's like the beings that had been stuck in the back rooms for a long time.
Yeah. Still lives
are just
is what they're
there.
called. Yeah.
Still lifes?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Is that like a lore thing or
yeah, there's an episode on YouTube that establishes that, and then it was kind of like debated on if that's what they're actually called, and then in the credits of this movie, that's when like it was confirmed because that's what they're called.
Okay.
They're credited as.
They're there the whole time, and the woman is in a really scary scene. The woman and the thing and the guy in the wheelchair are in a really scary scene with the Christmas tree that's in the found footage section that is
probably
amazing.
the best in the movie. Yeah, probably the best.
Yeah, one of the best parts of the movie. So scary, and they're just there. And it's again one of those things where it's like you're having an intense emotional or mental kind of confrontation between the two main characters.
Yeah,
and then Pirate Clark comes through, and he's like, it's kind of a manifestation of Clark's failures, failure in not becoming an architect, and being in a job where he has to like pretend to be a pirate for his bad commercials. And, you kind of assume that sales are not doing that well,
right,
for his commercial or his furniture store. And he's kind of preying on people who don't have good credit and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It worked for me. It was like, and that's the thing is like, I can get behind something as long as like the script is not, or I can get behind an idea as long as the script is not stating the obvious.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and that is like, I will give Kane Parsons the credit he's due. He's just like doing visual storytelling. Even the stuff in between with Mark Duplass, like Mark Duplass isn't like saying a lot until like the very last scene.
Yeah.
And some people are complaining about that, and I'm curious to know how you feel about it now that it's been like a week since we saw it.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's there, and he's letting you interpret it, and I like that. I was like, okay, it's like, it was a little talky on that table scene, but I was also like, these two things should not be here. And then that big thing comes in, and I was like, okay, like I really like how I like where this is going from a scare perspective, and from like a horror convention. Like it's like getting into the elevated horror hereditary stuff like a little bit. But other than that, I was like not bumping on it at all. I was like, this is so weird and unnerving. Right. And I've never seen anything like this, that like the boundaries feel like they're pushing, that I was mostly like, I was like 95% on board.
Yeah.
What did you think about that scene?
So I talked about, direct wise, this scene was kind of one of the weaker parts of the movie. It doesn't tank the movie or make it bad or anything. One of the problems, so I come two problems with this scene, and one of them is, obviously we know, like, it's been established that Clark is pretty far gone at this point. We don't even really know how long he's been in the back rooms. Like,
he had been drinking a lot, and that's why he had gotten kicked out of his house and that kind of thing.
So he's pretty far gone. And then to kind of randomly, it felt like he opens the fridge and his assistant manager's head was in there. That's one of those moments where I'm like, maybe like, that's one of the going with your gut moments doesn't pay off. Because to me, it's like,
okay,
then these people are talking, and then I'm sitting there thinking, well, she was on the other side of the wall. There was no way to get to each other. So he went to go, like, what is this situation where he goes to find her and then kills her and then cuts her head off and puts it in his fridge? And like, I'm thinking about the logistics of this, and then like I'm just distracted. Like it didn't really add anything. I already know he's crazy. I'm about to see him say he's gonna eat this like humanoid thing. Like, so that was one of the moments where I was like, oh, this just feels kind of weird and shoved in here in a way that doesn't really matter. Like if they just never addressed the assistant manager again, I would have been like, she got lost and died. Like that's what happened or something. Yeah.
Sure.
But so then Pirate Clark, I'm kind of like 50-50 on it. Okay. Where I think that part of, and this is like just how I think about the Backrooms, and I'm not an expert. I love the videos. I've watched them. I've played games and stuff, but I think part of what makes the Backrooms so scary is that it really doesn't make sense. It is like, it's one of those things like, and I think that's one of the scariest things, like to me personally, is like when they're, in life, there are so many things that I don't know, but I know that if I wanted to, I could spend the time and effort to understand them.
Yep.
Something that I cannot understand and that I cannot get a hold around is so scary to me. And that's like, I mean, just to like, it's like death, for example. Like I can't know, I can't figure that out. I can't figure out what's going to happen and all this stuff. And that's really scary to me. And so Pirate Clark kind of gives us, to me, I think a little too much of a foothold. And then in like what's kind of going on here in the Backrooms. And then two, what's revealed kind of towards the end of the movie, where we see these different places that we've seen throughout the movie being recreated in the Backrooms, where it's like, this place is starting to at least make a little sense. And that kind of takes a little bit away from it for me.
Yep.
And so I think that, and I understand like story-wise though, if it had just been the regular molecule monster that everyone's used to seeing, it would not.
You see at the beginning of the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
That you see at the beginning of the movie, that's in Kane's videos, in the first video they ever made. Like, I don't think that was the right choice either. So I don't know what the right choice is. And maybe like Pirate Clark is the best option. But I do think, yeah, it removes a little bit. It gives me too much of like what's going on here, when I kind of feel like what's scary about the Backrooms is that I don't know what's going on, and there probably is no way to figure it out.
Yeah. And that's what like I think that if they end up doing a TV show or another movie or whatever, like I'm in the bag for this sort of stuff. I want to see him kind of try more stuff and work maybe a little bit, find his Mark Frost.
Yeah.
Who can say like, well, what if we took it in this direction and it makes visual sense and breaks the medium in ways that haven't been done before.
Yeah.
That were kind of done in this movie. And yeah, I don't know, like I was thinking about this too with Obsession, where like, is Obsession going to feel the same way when I go watch it again? It's like, I'm pretty sure it will, but also like, I'm never going to forget, in the same way that like Hereditary is that way for me, where I will never forget how I felt when I was watching that in the theater and how like unnerved I was.
Yeah.
So, and it's always that movie, even if you have different experiences watching it at home later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole, let me ask you this. I'm curious about this because we've kind of alluded to it, and I think that we had this conversation about mental health in movies.
Yeah.
Before you became a co-host, and I said, well, like, Olivia, are you tired of seeing mental health be like such a big plot point in movies? And she was like, no. And I think she was saying like, I think she may have received it as me like ridiculing it as a topic.
Yeah.
But in horror,
right,
it has become like a little bit of a trope that I think needs to be just kind of like done away with. So I think that like that whole thing, you can interpret him coming after her like, I don't know, but like I totally understand where you're coming from, just in terms of like Pirate Clark being it's like a little bit too literal of a manifestation of his like mental illness or inability to overcome his own self or his own psyche, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that probably most people would agree at this point, if you watched a lot of horror probably in the past, 5 years, that it's sad and it's weird to say, but yeah, mental health has almost become a trope, and it's like, I'm not tired of it, but I would love to see us explore, like, mental health is very broad and there's a lot of things that people struggle with, and it feels like we're so off, like, we're talking about the same 2 or 3 things specific most of the time. You know, like, I even wrote a script a few years ago, and I never made it. And now I like look back on it, and it's like about grief and all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't make this now, because it's like, this movie's been made 5-6 times and people have seen it. And so, yeah, I think it honestly, it becomes a little bit of a crutch too, because it is something that we all know that if we haven't dealt with it, we have friends and family that have dealt with it. So it becomes an easy way for people to relate and for a movie to become meaningful. Mm-hmm. And I think, if you have something new to say, I'd love to hear it and I want people to do it. But I do think there are times where we're just kind of going over the same stuff over and over, and we don't have to. Like, I think that's why Obsession is so cool, and why, like, it works so well is because,
so much of it is subtext like truly subtext in Obsession.
Yeah, it's subtextual. It's addressing this issue that, like, we have talked about, but that is kind of almost honestly becoming a bigger issue in our society again, of like, people openly being misogynistic. We're seeing it with the new God of War trailer that just came out. Like, gamers are revolting because they don't want to play as a non-sexy woman in a video game, which is like blowing my mind and so stupid. But
I was just laughing about what you said. Like, I only play as women. The gayest thing I could do would be to play as a straight man.
Why would I want to be another dude? Yeah, it's wild. So I think Obsession works really well because it's saying something, but it's not something that's been said a million times before. So
yeah, I think that I was really hoping that there was gonna be I liked the ending, I liked the final shot, because what ends up happening is you have a sit-down scene with Renata Reinsva's character and
Mary is her name.
Mary, yeah. And she has her own things that are going on. Like, her mom was probably like paranoid schizophrenic, but also there's like a little bit of a hint that she was kind of being subsumed by something like the Backrooms. That's kind of hinted at. And that's a thread that I think would be really interesting to explore. And I wish that was maybe a little bit more overt, because that could have made the movie a little scarier, just because we don't know what happened exactly with her.
Real quick before I forget too, that's another thing that I thought was going to be touched on a little bit, was we see this backstory of her and like her mom, and basically her mom, like, paranoid schizophrenic, it seems, locked her in the house, covered all the windows, wouldn't let her out. And eventually it seems like one day she opened up the window and left her house and got her mom help and stuff. And now that's like, she uses the window as like a metaphor in her therapy, and like has written books about it and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Like, there could be this whole thing about, using your trauma for like profit, and like, is that, like, how does that land? Is that okay? Like, should we do this? Should we not? All this stuff. And it doesn't really get discussed or looked into at all, but I was excited for that. I thought that could be interesting. And so that was a thing I was a little disappointed we didn't get more of, a little bit of a look at that.
It's just kind of, and it wasn't mean in this way of, like, in the way that Obsession was kind of mean about, like, Bear's character.
Yeah.
But there was this sort of, like, I think the thing that they need to lean into is like the unknowableness of the Backrooms, kind of like you were saying. Like, there's no logic. There's like whatever. It just goes on forever. You can find your way out, but you'll always kind of like be obsessed with it.
Yeah,
and kind of want to go back because she has a predisposition to go to get stuck in it. And the way that they mess with time right at the end is what I really liked.
Yeah.
Because she's like talking to him. He said, like, I discovered this place years ago. I made it out. We've been studying it. And then everything kind of fades out. And then it like shifts. And it's like the same. She's in the same chair, same room, but it's like desolate. And you could tell that like 50 years or however many years have gone by. And she's morphed into one of those still lives. And I liked that because it was just kind of like a boom, gut punch. Here's the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I liked that, but there was also a little bit of like, there should have been like just 5% less of like, there's a corporate kind of thing of people who know what's going on. It should have been like, I really liked at the beginning when they turned the TV off of the first guy.
Yeah.
Who gets, attacked by the monster. And you see the outlines of the silhouettes of the people in the old TV reflection. That was awesome, and I wish it had been like more of that vibe and less of like Mark Duplass, who like I like, but like it was just like a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little like lore dumpy, a little bit like about the company and stuff, and that's like that's a thing in the videos, like that company and their studying of the Backrooms and stuff. So that's not something I was surprised to see, but yeah, I agree. I think the final shot and that part of the ending is really cool. Everything else kind of around it, like, because I don't know if I'm just misremembering, but it kind of just cuts in the middle of their conversation, right? Like, it just
it's like it starts to fade out for her.
Yeah. And then so, and I don't know. I'm interested to see what direction they go with more stuff in the future. Because I know Kane said he's open to doing a show or another movie, and I'd probably rather see a movie than a show, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And the only way I think I'd watch, I mean, here's the thing. Like, and I think I wrote this on my review on Letterboxd, was like, this movie is 10 out of 10 on vibes. And I told Isaac after the movie, I said, I could watch like Clark going and walking around the Backrooms in the beginning. I could have watched that movie. Like, hour and a half, dudes walking around in all these really cool, interesting, like liminal space rooms. Like, I can watch that. I already have on YouTube. Like, But I don't know, like, story wise where you go, and I don't know how you can push forward the storyline with them studying and figuring out more of the Backrooms without, again, losing some of that, of what is scary about this place and what's scary about this thing. So
I believe he said that like it would be more of like an anthology.
Yeah.
Which I think is the right move.
For sure.
You would need to just get a couple people, explore different, aspects of whatever things in characters, or like whatever darkness is like kind of bringing you back to those places or whatever. But it would be a challenge to make it fresh. I totally agree. And it would be hard to like, the whole vibes thing is really interesting to me because it's like, that's what I think the people who love the show or love the YouTube videos, it's like, I'm along for this ride and I'm just like experiencing it. And if it's not a good experience, if I'm having to like experience it through like a traditional lens of like a traditional movie or a traditional TV show, it's going to lose its magic. Yeah. Which I think is what makes the movie special.
Yeah. 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 I think I agree. I know if anyone can figure it out, Kane will figure it out. I believe in him. I think that he's awesome. I've changed my rating of this movie 3 times though on Letterboxd throughout the week. Yeah. Which is funny, but can I show you real quick, Isaac? We talked about this before the movie. So me and my friends have played this game called Into the Backrooms, and there's this monster in it that's like notorious in our friend group because it's very scary and it freaks me out. But my friend Carson, who came to the movie with us,
Conrad.
Conrad, will like scream bloody murder if he ever sees this monster in the game.
Is it the smile monster?
Yes, and I have a picture of it.
I looked this up, but I want to
Oh,
see
you did?
I want to see the the video that you have.
It's just this picture.
Yeah.
It's like, but like, imagine you're just playing a game and you just turn the corner and this thing is there. It's like, it's so horrifying.
Oh yeah. So when I got back from the movie, I watched I looked up like some screenshots of the monsters, and then I watched a couple videos, and then I was watching one of the old ones.
Yeah.
That he had done, and I was like, this is a little bit too creepy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. But yeah, I saw one of the smile ones, and it may have been from that game. So
yeah, it's scary. Yeah, I think there's an infinite amount of monsters that he can pull from, which is interesting. The game that we've played though started a thing where anyone can upload a monster to like their store. It's all free, but that's the only word I can think, marketplace or whatever. Okay. So you can add it to your game. And so we've played that game with like a 97 Honda Civic like hunting us down. And like Obama Prism or something we did one time too. And
that's hilarious. So, your answer to this question may be kind of informed by your experience playing the games. Yeah. But what would your Backrooms be?
Oh, yeah. So nothing to do with the actual lore or anything of the Backrooms, but I know my answer. It 100% would be like early 2000s, like Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh yeah,
because my grandma lived in Little Rock, and every time I'd go there, like Chuck E. Cheese, I would beg her to take me, and we would go. And so like I know that I would get stuck in like that like purple and like that purple carpet with all the crazy stuff on it, and yeah, I'd be stuck there. What about you?
So one of the things that was like the area with the pool that you said is like kind of an infamous or famous section of some of the original lore that Kane did, or original videos that Kane did, that comes right after the Christmas tree scene. Christmas tree scene. That scene with the pools reminded me of First Baptist Church here in Little Rock, which is like right down the road from our house. And I remember going there when I was a kid because my dad would play basketball there. And I would go into the bathroom and I'd be like just weirded out. I was like, why are there like baths here and like tons of showers and stuff?
Yeah.
And it looked like that. And it was like that memory I had, like it wasn't bad, but I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. It's connecting in this way. Here's the thing is like these liminal spaces are not like, I was scared by the jump scares. I'm not really scared by these, and I'm scared of like the idea of things in there. But I'm pretty directionally like savvy, and I think I could like get out. And I also would just be like, you know what? The door's right here. I'm just going to stay right here. If I get stuck for some reason, I'm just going to be like, this door's going to open again. And I'm not like, and I like that there's just enough logic to where you can get out of the back rooms and find your way away. It's more the thing of like, it just goes on. And I'm like, I cannot like put down the feeling, the itch to keep going further, you know? So my biggest fears is like open water. Like there's a movie coming out that Austin Abrams, who's going to be in Resident Evil, is in called Whale Fall, where he literally gets swallowed by a whale and then has to get out. I'm not even kidding. Like I'm so pumped. Like that movie and then Resident Evil, it's like the year of Austin Abrams. I don't know if there's a trailer or not. I think there's not a trailer yet, but I'm pumped for that movie. I feel like that movie is going to tap into like some deep like personal anxiety of like that happening to me. Like I crash land in the ocean on a plane or whatever, and it's like sharks, whales. The two animals I'm most scared of I mean, sharks are like, yes, sharks are always scary. Sharks are objectively scary. The animal I'm probably the most scared of, number one is like squids and octopi.
Oh,
and number two is alligators.
Yeah.
Like I've had nightmares of alligators like coming to eat me. And yep. So all like that to say, I'm glad there's no like bodies. If there's like a pool, I'm like, I'm just not going to get in that pool. Like, you know, so it's like good thing it's not like the ocean or a body of water or whatever. So I don't really know. I think it might be like the church I went to.
Yeah.
Bible church. I don't know. It might be like this, just like this boring square rooms.
Yeah. With like, for some reason, green carpet. And like, yeah, that's interesting. I'm pretty directionally savvy too. That's actually, when we play games like that, like my friends are always asking me, like, where do we go? Yeah, like, where do we go? And in that game, you have to backtrack a lot, and I always know where to go, and they don't know. But I know, I know myself enough to know that if there were no entities in the back rooms, like if I didn't see something scary, I would go so deep in there looking around. Like I would not be able to help myself going deeper and deeper and trying to see more stuff. I mean, when I was a teenager, like I broke into so many abandoned buildings, like
in South Arkansas.
Yeah, in South Arkansas, like all the, I mean,
the theater. Did you tell me about this? Had it been closed in El Dorado and you got in there?
Oh no.
Or was that before it closed?
I don't know that story. That might not be me.
No. You're okay. I work with a guy who also grew up in El Dorado, but he's several years older than me.
Okay,
so like y'all would not have been there. There's like a theater downtown that
the
closed
Rialto.
Has been
I've been
the
in
Rialto.
there.
Yeah,
I've been in there.
Yeah. But is it still abandoned?
I don't know. I haven't been to El Dorado in such a long time. It was abandoned back then.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It was really easy to get into. So
yeah,
but no, like I grew up in Camden, Arkansas. Anyone from Arkansas, from South Arkansas, if you've ever been there, and it's like a pretty sad town. There's a ton of abandoned places, and so
it's
like
gotten
there's
like worse economically, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it probably will just continue to. But yeah, there's like an old like grape factory that's actually like really close to downtown, and you just have to be willing to you just have to know where it is, and you can get there super easily. And I don't even know if it's illegal, to be honest. There's no signs or anything, and if there are signs, we would just take them down. That was our strategy.
Just screw those suckers.
Yeah, that was literally our strategy. It's like, no trespassing sign on a tree. It's like, okay, well, we'll just take it down and put it under some leaves and stuff. Like, and so if a cop comes, we're like, we didn't know there's no trespassing sign.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if that would work, but that's what we always did. But yeah, there's
you have plausible deniability.
Right. There's actually two. This is probably the craziest one ever. I'll tell this story I'll try to make it quick. So Camden, if you don't know, there's a lot of like defense contractors out there. So like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, L3 Harris, used to be Aerojet. And they've been out there for a long time, like a really long time. So they have some abandoned sites out there, obviously incredibly illegal to go. But there are some that like people know, like everyone knows about. And there are these ones called the Sun Castles. And it's like, it's super cool. I mean, it's really, really cool place. I mean, it's where they used to make like hand grenades. Like it's, so you can go, you go out in the woods. It's like down this dirt road. It's all hunting land now. So it's like you are trespassing, but all you have to do is find a way to get around a gate on a dirt road. And you go out there and it's these huge, I mean, they're massive cement like buildings. And so you can just explore and look around. And then there's a few different buildings on this property. There's one called Hole in the Wall, which is where I think they used to do testing for stuff. Cause it's like, you're just walking in the woods and then it's just like 20 feet tall cement walls, like in a circle. And then like can walk down and go in the entrance and go in the middle and stuff. Super cool. But so one night, one of my friends, his uncle was at his house, and he's like, my uncle's a ghost hunter, and he wants to go out there, but we don't know how to get out there. Can you take us? I was like, yeah, I mean, I know how to get there. So we go, and there's like this church that's kind of close by. So we park down there. We walk, and we just walk down we're walking on this dirt road down to the Sun Castles. So we're trespassing at this point.
Yeah.
And we hear in the distance, like, what sounds like an ATV of some sort.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, everybody get in the woods right now. So we all run, and we're like laying in the woods. And yeah, a dude drives by on like a 4-wheeler and like is shining his flashlight like side to side.
Oh, shoot.
And he drives by, and we're so dumb, but we got up and kept going. And he came back. We'd hit again. He goes again, and we still kept going. We never turned around. We went but we made it.
And you made it?
Yeah, we made it. Well, because it's like
hilarious.
We're out in the middle of the woods. The guy cannot sneak up on us. Like it's so loud. We can hear him from so far away. So, yeah, we kept going, and we made it, and had a great time hanging out there at night, and didn't find any ghosts, but had a good story from it. So
that is a good story. Yeah, like you can't catch us. We're like hide.
Yeah, just get in the woods, and even if he sees us, I mean, then he's gonna have to get up and chase us. Like, is he really gonna do that? Probably.
Do you remember which church it was that you parked at?
No, but I mean, I know where they're at. I could find it.
You should send it to me afterward.
Yeah,
just in case. We know that Pete Hegseth is listening to this conversation, so yeah, you just send it to me offline, brother.
Yeah, I will. Will do.
Anything else you want to, talk about Backrooms? Would recommend everyone go see Backrooms
for sure.
If you like horror at all, go see Backrooms.
Go see it. We had a great month, man. A great month of horror.
Oh yeah.
It sucks that I didn't go see Passengers actually because of how bad the reviews were. But Hokum, Obsession, Backrooms, all in 1 month. Great month of horror. So.
On our next episode, I think we should spend a little bit of time talking about Hokum, because did we talk about it on an episode?
No.
I don't think we have. Because obviously it's in conversation a little bit with like the trauma and elevated horror sort of stuff. Some things I think it does really, really well, and some other things I'm like, it did good, and then other things I'm like, but still one of my favorite movies of the year. But Backrooms. I'm in it. I'm actually, this is where I'm recording from.
Yeah, Isaac is in the Backrooms currently, and he lied. He's so lost. He has no idea how to get out.
I gotta figure out. My family's probably like, where is he? So.
He forgot to put blue tape around the door. So.
Yeah, for real. Iconic though. Honestly, I should do that in here. That would be cool. Thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Our editor is Walter Lyle. I think he's going to put this up for us. Shout out to Olivia. She's the GOAT, but I know she's in grieving still, probably.
Can I say real quick? She is seeing Obsession as we record this right now. She texted us.
Sweet.
That
I wasn't sure.
Seeing Obsession right now.
Sweet.
So.
Okay. Well, she is not going to be able to sleep tonight. So, our music is by Corden Jocks. Our art is by Sean Cohen. Our next episode is probably going to be another grab bag. I'm going to be at it. No, we're not recording next week, right?
Yeah, I think you and Olivia are both gone. And I actually have something next week too. I am going to be a guest instructor at the Henderson filmmaking camp next week.
Let's go.
That'll be cool.
That'll be fun hearing about. Yeah. I think we'll probably do another grab bag, maybe just like summer recap or catch up until we're all done traveling this summer. But I'm going to probably go see Masters of the Universe tomorrow because it's getting pretty good reviews. And I love Nicholas Gallatin because I think he's just so damn funny in Bottoms. And so I was like, I kind of want to see him, whatever he's doing. So
I'm going to try to get, my dad grew up, watching He-Man. So I'm going to try to go see it with him at some point.
Nice. Well, thank you for listening. I am going to vamp for a second until we get to the outro, but let's go watch those Knicks. Let's check on the
Knicks.
score while we
tied.
Is it tied?
71-71 in the third. In the third with 2 minutes left.
Lisa Al-Gaib.